Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. On this third video we're going to show you the ready TipTime app which was built using Jetpack Compose on Android Studio. As it was mentioned earlier, this app will help you to quickly calculate tips based on a bill amount, selected percentage, and even allow you to round up the tip if you desire. Very simple idea, very simple application to start learning about Android Studio and building your apps. Without further ado, let's just jump in. First, you should know that the final application code resides in main activity file, which is on the left side of the window, and then your emulator to test the app and the code resides on the right side of the window. In the middle is the main activity code, and that's where the final code of the whole application comes to. Before we jump into the main activity, let me introduce you briefly to the pages before main activity. The first one is a color. In the color, think of it as if it's your application's paint box. These are the building blocks for your application's theme, the colors used for the buttons, backgrounds, and then the fonts and the texts. The next one is a theme. Under the theme, the file ties everything together into Material 3 theme. It imports colors from typography and the shapes if they are defined. It basically collects all the information from the before page and then the next page to it. And it ensures that your app has a consistent look and feel across all screens. Type, which is the last one. You can think of it as if it's your application's style guide for text, making sure titles, labels, and body text look consistent. This file defines your typography styles. Now we can jump into the main activity. The main activity starts from, as you can see, lane 60, which is component activity, which is part of the Jetpack Compose. Inside the onCreate method, we set the content of the app using setContent, and then we wrap our user interface in a custom theme called TipTime theme to ensure that all components have consistent look and feel. The next, we can look into TipTime layout, lane 77. Under the TipTime layout, we have our application's most functionalities. We define several state variables using remember. As you can see, in each 3 lanes we have remember function. The first one is amount input, which stores the bill amount. Then we have tip input, which stores the tip percentage, and then the last one we have round up function, a boolean that indicates whether the user wants to round up the tip. We also compute the tip based on these inputs by calling a function that handles the logic for calculating the tips. Next, we can jump into lane 157, the roundup option. In this roundup option, we introduce a switch, as you can see on the final app, a switch for the users to choose whether to round up the tip. Implemented inside the row, as you can see, text label and the switch. Toggle the switch updates and the roundup state, which directly affects the calculation. That means it will round up the tip amounts to the nearest whole number. For example, instead of 3.5, you would like to round up to number 4 to offer your tip. The next, we can look into tip calculation on lane 182. Here it shows the calculated tip amount, which is the last lane as you can see on the final app. It updates dynamically as the user changes inputs or toggles the switch. The result is formatted as a currency for clarity. And the logic of the calculation is very straightforward. Multiply the bill amount with tip percentage. If roundup is true, round to the nearest whole number, and format results as a currency string. These are the basically three main calculation logics that we built into this application. And now let's focus on the final user interface of the application. As you can see on the first lane, there is the title of the application, calculate the tip. On the first text box, we can see the bill amount, and then on the second box, we can see the text box, we can see the tip percentage. These are options given to the user to input any number that it would like to calculate the tip. The next line, you can see it's if the user wants to round up the tip to the nearest whole number, and then finally the result, which shows the tip amount with the currency icon. And let's try 3 examples and see if the calculation is correct, and then if all the functions are working. So let's say the bill amount is 100, and then you would like to tip 15%. As you can see, the 15% of the $100 bill is $15, which is the tip amount. Let's again try a different number. For example, if the bill is 275, and then the percentage is tip percentage is 20%, or let's say 25%, and as you can see, the tip amount is $68.75, and if user wants to round up the tip, let's try the toggle. It will bring to the nearest whole amount, which is $69. We could try one more example, and let's say it was a group of friends having dinner, and they finished their dinner, decided to make a payment. The bill comes to $180, and they would like to tip 15%. And as you can see, 15% of the $180 comes to $27 as a tip amount. So this is as simple as it is, very basic, very simple logic in calculating the tip. And as you can see, we have created a fully functional tip calculator using the Jetpack Compose. And as it was mentioned, user can input the bill amount, select the tip percentage, and decide if they want to round up the tip. All is clean and very simple, very clean, modern user interface. With that, if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe for our channel to learn more about Android Studio application development and Jetpack Compose.